Georgia versus Alabama. If I had to predict right now, like I said, I'd probably take Alabama. And I know a lot of Georgia fans are going to hate me for that. And here's one right now. Georgia's going to beat Alabama. A lot's got to happen. How are we going to beat Alabama? It's going to come down to Stetson Bennett offensively. If he can control the game well, and I know that's game managing, okay, I get it. But if he can control the game well and not force the ball down the field for no reason, I think we'll be okay offensively. If you see the play calling from Todd Monken, he does really, really well with getting the ball, spreading it out. Like I said, Brock Bowers is going to have a good game. I keep hearing George Pickens' name. I mean, he hasn't really been targeted or on the field as much this year. So, I mean, even in these past 3 games. So I'm not really too worried about that. But our running backs are going to have a really good game. Our running backs today had like over 150 yards receiving. My goodness. Especially with James Cook. He's that H-back type of running back, or an H-back, not really a running back, but you know what I mean. He's going to have a really good game. He's had really solid games against Alabama in the past, especially last year. He had a nice 80, 90-yard touchdown reception. But, yeah, and defensively, that front 7 is going to have to own that Alabama offensive line. Watching Cincinnati was able to control what they could. They are not the most talented team in the country, obviously. They were obviously outmatched. But watching that front 7, I thought Cincinnati's front 7 did a really good job in the pass defense game. Obviously, they did terrible against the rush, but that comes down to talent, okay? From scheming from Luke Fickell's defensive coordinator, they did a really, really good job in pass defense. They only gave up 150 yards passing. A lot of that comes down to the rush, but that's what Georgia has to replicate. Not the rushing yards, obviously, but the pass defense, okay, and getting to the quarterback. Bryce Young was sacked like once today, maybe twice, but that's 1 more or 2 more times than what Georgia was able to do, okay? That's what Georgia needs, and Bryce Young forced some passes that he shouldn't have, and he threw a terrible interception. That's what Georgia needs in order to beat Alabama. They need their offensive line to play a little bit better than last time, probably a lot bit better. But they need their defensive linebackers to step up big time. And I think Georgia has a good shot. And Georgia finally wins this game at 11 p.m. Eastern time, 34-11 against Michigan. And that's pretty much it. But I give Georgia a shot against Alabama. I would hate to be that guy, but I got to go Nick Saban. I just don't like Kirby Smart's scheming against Nick Saban. I've been watching it, especially the past 2 times, man. The past 2 times, the score has been replicated the same. It's 41-24, but the past 2 times, the defensive scheme has kind of been questionable. Hasn't been getting to the QB as well. And then the offense, we've had, Stetson Bennett turn the ball over. If Stetson Bennett doesn't turn the ball over, and Georgia is able to get to Bryce Young, I think Georgia can win the game. Okay, that's going to be the difference in the game, obviously. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here, guys. Let me read some more comments for you. The SEC has looked horrible, other than these 2 teams. Facts. The SEC has looked disappointing, and I've been high on Texas A&M all year, and I just feel like this. I feel like they really, really, really should have forfeited, and they should have a loss to Wake Forest, even though I know Wake Forest did get an opponent. And Texas A&M is lucky, but NC State should have got a win too, which made no sense. But the SEC was 1-5 before today in bowl games. South Carolina put a beating on North Carolina. I mean, the bowl games have been weird this year for the games that have been played. But anyway. GGUGA, shout out to this Michigan fan. Sorry it didn't go your way today. Michigan had a really, really, really good season. I mean, let's just talk about Michigan, what they were able to accomplish this year before I get off in here. They were able to beat Ohio State. They were able to beat the Big Ten, but they were projected to be 4th, or some sites had them even 5th in the Big Ten East. 5th. I had Michigan, I think, tied for 2nd. I obviously had Ohio State beating them, but they were able to beat Ohio State. But they were only projected to be at 8 wins this year. They go ahead and make the college football playoff. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh. I love Jim Harbaugh. I know a lot of Michigan fans were frustrated with him. Hopefully, you're not anymore. But it is what it is. You guys had a really good season. You have nothing to be ashamed of. It's academic. Unless you're prepared to go all in for football, winning the Big Ten is our ceiling. Michigan fans, I understand what you're saying. You got a star in the making in JJ McCaffrey. I said McCaffrey, yeah. McCarthy. Goodness. I've been following JJ McCarthy for a long time, and I really messed up his name. Anyway, JJ McCarthy is QB1. He is going to be a star for Michigan. I'm telling you right now. He has a lot of potential. He is going to be very, very, very good for you guys in the next coming years. He should be QB1. But anyway, I'm reading through these comments. But anyway, guys, Georgia versus Alabama in the national title, 2022 national title. Look at Stetson Bennett out here having the game of his life. And shutting down all these haters, and he did it against a top 5 defense, by the way. Michigan was okay. Let me rephrase that. He did it against a top 10 defense. Okay, something that no one said he could do, and he goes out and throws for 310 yards, 3 touchdowns, rushes for 32 yards, and comes home with a 34-11 W against Michigan. But anyway, guys, Georgia fans, we're off to Indy as we take on Alabama in the national title.